Okay, so this layout is going to be a rather large one. It is called the Grand Tableau with Lenormand cards. And we are going to use the woman card to be representative of us, humanity, as a whole. So I am going to shuffle up the cards and shuffle them as well as I can and lay them out. I'll put the layout on fast forward because there's quite a few cards, 36 in fact, and we will just fast forward through that so you don't have to watch the whole thing. So I'm going to be silent for a moment. Okay, so she is down here, which is one of those locations that's supposed to be more for what happens next. However, I am not going to relay out this. We're going to go from here and see what the issue is and how we can work with it. So she is currently, as humanity, in the card of the key, or excuse me, in the house of the key. And the key is all about success and being able to actually gain from everything that has happened, but also be successful, okay? We're going to win out one way or another. However, if you see in her position, she is like below all these cards, which means there's a lot of burden on humanity right now. A lot of burden on humanity. This is not really where we want to be, and it's, got a ways to go. Over here, right here is the past, here is the future. Her line here is the present. So there's a lot going on here and a lot of time ahead to see where this goes. It is interesting that it's showing that she is very conscious of all that is going on. Okay, there are no cards below her, which is normally the subconscious mind. In general, we're supposed to be totally conscious of everything that is going on, but let's see what that entails. So going up here, we see we have the key, just like we did down here that humanity is sitting on. Again, success. Okay, but we also have the tower. So success and stability are something that we are, as humans, striving for in our lives, success and stability. But it's a long climb up that tower, a lot of steps to take. Then we have the garden. Which is all about kind of a gathering, a social place, some place that is comfortable to be and is in reference to, like I said, community and socialness, being able to be with others. Then we have the house. So what this is showing is that obviously it's telling us in the tail end we are going to have success, okay? But that success is going to take a good bit of work to get to that stable point and to be able to actually, again, be able to be amongst people. Right now, many people think that it's necessary to, stay locked in the home. That is kind of what they've tried to say is necessary. Stay away from people and stay in your home. Of course, this is a past card too, if you think about it that way. And this is kind of a far-reaching from here, a far-reaching future card. This is also a future card. These are both past cards, but the meaning that they have currently has to do with what is going on right now. To be successful, for humanity to be successful, as it's talking about here. This is just kind of a double confirmation here. It's a lot of work. To reach that stability, we need to be able to climb a lot of steps to get there. And to get to this social area where everyone feels very comfortable being with others, you know, it's going to take some time. And they're still trying to push this lock in the house. So this success card here is in the house of the rider. Next to it, we have the anchor. In the house of the clover. And we have the bouquet in the house of the ship. What this is telling us is that movement is required. Okay, we can't, if we want to be successful as a race, we can't just sit still. We can't just anchor ourselves into somewhere, such as the house, and expect things to go well. You know, a clover is small good lucks, but not if you've anchored yourself in such a way that you're afraid to move or go anywhere. And again, it's reiterating here, the ship is movement and the bouquet is big gain, big good fortune, okay? Whereas the clover is small, this is big. So it's saying we have the opportunity to have this. This is somewhat what we had in the past, also, if you think about it. And unfortunately, you know, deciding to stay anchored didn't serve us very well. So it's very important, you know, we've got 2 movement cards here, or 2 movement houses. And to reach that success and that good fortune, you know, we have to, maybe 1, anchor into a decision as to what we really want as humanity and move towards that. That's very important. So then we have the dog in the house of the birds, the clover in the house of the child, the birds or owls in the house of the garden, and the heart in the house of the mountain. So the dog, meaning friendships, loyalties, all that is getting chipped away, okay? You know, where we thought we had friendships individually, okay? That friendship and that loyalty has been being chipped away for quite some time now. And there's a lot of chirp, you know, arguments and things that really do not serve us, okay? In fact, they're very damaging to the heart. And, you know, it's created some pretty major obstacles, which none of us really need. It is not good for humanity. And, you know, we've got this hope, this bit of good fortune here, just beginning again, or at least that's what we thought, where people were kind of calming down. And then suddenly there's all this chirp again. Chaos and craziness that is going to try and keep us away from the garden, right? Being social. Well, this is not good. This is what's being done at this time. This is how things are going. And again, it's extremely important to decide what your anchor is going to be. And is this really worth it to you? That's a question, right? Is it really worth it to you to choose sides in this way and to feed, as dogs seem to be always hungry? Birds are always hungry. Is it, do you really want to feed that anger? Or do you want to have the new beginning? So as I said, we don't have any past cards for humanity other than up here, but none directly, with her. We can go this way and, show that humanity has the knowledge. They've got all the history that they require. Interestingly, the book is in the book house, okay, which makes it extremely strong. This shows us we've had so much knowledge. We have been taught many things, and a lot of it is absolutely beyond logical thinking that humanity would ever let a lot of the history that has taken place happen. We have the knowledge. This is obvious, and with a book in the house of the book, this is important. This is where we need to make sure that this book, which is full of secrets, okay, so what we've actually read, there is so much falsity to it. There's many secrets in this book. We have to understand that there's secrets, but also there's always some truths to the falsehoods as well. So, if we've been taught that many passed due to a past conflict, that much we can probably believe, because that's kind of what this is all about. That's what is being taken from us, okay? And the garden up here, okay, which is all about people and being social and so forth, is in the house of the coffin, okay? And the coffin it can mean death. So in this case, what I'm sharing with you here, I'm going to say that, those in power want people to be in the coffin. Many people, not all, because then there would be no one to serve. However, many people, okay? So, since we have no past cards necessarily next to her, we're going to read the present. So as we've said, we've got the bouquet in the house of the ship. I will show you the bouquet again. Okay, and that is showing that there is forward movement towards this success, but it's all about a power struggle. And here we have the bear in the house of the whip. And the bear is all about inner strength, humanity's inner strength, and supportiveness, how supportive we are with one another. But there is a power struggle here, and that's what the whip is about. There is a power struggle. It isn't, people haven't chosen where they want to be yet. So instead of having, stability, we have the ship in the house of the tower. And the ship, again, is about forward momentum, forward movement, to be able to reach a stable way of being. Decisions have to be made. And so far, obviously there's movement, but there's still that power struggle. And interesting that we have the house of the ship, and the ship, they keep reiterating movement is necessary, movement is necessary. And we can't just stay anchored in the house. That is not going to change anything. That is going to create people in the coffin. When we're alone, we have no ability to bring in a germ and fight it. So then we have the moon in the letter, the house of the letter. And the moon is all about intuition, humanity's intuition and emotion. How intuitive we are, how emotional we are, is going to depend on where we sit, okay? And whether or not we buy all the documents we are told we have to have. And again, there is so much going on here, but if we are going to win, as these two cards share, we cannot buy into this. You have to have this certain document to do this or do that, or to be social, or, to have friends, to have someone you love in your life, to be out there and be social with anyone. This is something that you need to feel in your gut to know that that is not what will bring success to humanity. We cannot be anchored in to the letter or the whip. That will not serve us in any way, shape, or form. So for the present, which obviously does not go all the way over, so makes me think that the fairies are allowing us to leave that a bit open to see what happens here. But we have the child in the house of the fish. We have lilies in the house of the anchor. And we have the cross in the house of the cross. So currently, humanity could be successful. I mean, that's the goal here, is what the fairies are trying to share. We need to prevail, okay? This means we can't be children, okay? We can't have the innocence of children at the moment. We have to protect the innocence of these children, no matter how much money, no matter what we're promised, no matter how much money we're offered. We have to protect the children. That is very important. And the lilies have one meaning in this reading, and that is family. We have to be firmly anchored in family. And they're telling us how to fix some of this mess, okay? If we're firmly anchored in family and we are protecting our children, this cross, and again, this is the cross, this is burden, this is fate, this is faith. And it is in the house of the cross. So like the book, it is extremely important. So if we want to have the success and to have life be absolutely stunning for us as a family, and for our children to grow up in someplace beautiful, we have to have faith as well. We don't have to carry all of this burden, okay? But we have to be willing to allow fate to step in and show us the road of faith, okay? So for humanity to be successful, we have to protect the innocence of the children and not fall into the money bribes, okay? And we have to anchor our families and have faith. Now, since we don't have anything over here, like with the book, when I went this way, we're going this way, and we have the writer in the house of the sun. And that is fantastic. It is a message of absolute happiness, absolute success again. So this is where it's at. If we follow this pathway, and it is up to humanity, and it's not just up to a small segment of humanity, it is up to the whole of humanity. To go with this flow, it's what it was meant to be. This is how the dynamic was always meant to be. It was up to us to have children and protect those children, not the money people. The state was not there to protect our children. We are there to protect our children. They have been birthed into our family. Our family is that anchor. And we have to have faith that we can protect all that. And this message is, if we follow this and we stay true to it, okay, we anchor here in the family, then this is what we have to look forward to, is this fantastic message of success, where the world, though it will never go back to the way it once was, it can only get better. Only get better. So I think that's about it for this reading at this time from the fairies. They have given us a pretty powerful reading for the week, and I think it's actually for more than just the week. It is the forward movement required with the ship, the forward movement that's required, as well as the rider. We need to keep moving forward here to make sure that this power struggle goes our way. We can't hide behind the shadow of the moon and expect something awesome to happen. We can't anchor ourselves to a very small, oh, well, if I do this little thing, then I'll be okay. Oh, no. It has to be all of humanity that is working together for this. This is what we want. This is what we don't want. We don't want a repeat of anything. We don't want our history and the secrets that we've had to deal with, and that many are coming out now. We don't want to have that anymore. We want full illumination with the sun. Everything to be illuminated in our lives to be lovely, and our families safe. And maybe this is referring to 5D, Earth, and higher. I'm not going to guess at that, just saying. But it sure would be nice to have all of humanity reach that point. So I thank you for joining me, and we will see you again next week. Take care.